Good day, everyone. Welcome to Journey of the Anointed with Mr. Buzz. I lost my pick. There we go. Oh, no, it's one of the strings. Didn't lose it at all. So, going to give a little guitar lesson, a little trick that someone taught me many years ago. I was a brand new guitar player, actually. Maybe my first year when someone showed me this. They said, if you learn how to do this properly and you make it a habit, you'll always be a cleaner guitar player than pretty much everyone around. And it turned out to be true. This trick was so valuable to me in my life. This is what made people notice my playing, was this one thing that I learned to do. Now, I watch a lot of amateur guitar players and, well, professionals too. One thing I notice all the time, let's say a C chord. They're playing a C, okay? If you're a guitar player, you know. A little better, sorry about that. C chord has 5 strings in it. You're not supposed to play E string. But what do most people do? They just whack away at all 6. Okay? That means, now, there is technically an E in a C chord. But that low, muddy E in a C chord sounds terrible. You hear that? And you see people strumming away, and they can strum good, their rhythm's good, but they're banging on that E string, not doing anything to keep it quiet, and not even trying to miss it. Okay, so what this guy told me is, never mind trying to miss them every time. You might get good enough to miss it every time, but you'll probably still hit it sometimes. It's actually how Keith Richards ended up playing a 5-string guitar. He got tired of trying to miss that string, because he does an open tuning, and he always wanted to miss that string for... It's a bit complicated to explain it real quick, but he ended up just taking that string off because he kept hitting it by mistake. So instead of trying to miss it, this finger right here needs to nudge up against it and make it dead. Now you can whack away all you want. Okay, and you can do this with pretty much every chord. F. We got 2 strings up here that need to be dead. The thumb takes care of one. The ring finger takes care of the other. Just nudges up against it. I get 2 dead strings. Now I'm going to try not to hit them anyway. I'm pretty accurate. I'm not going to hit them too much. But in case I do, it's my insurance. Because if you don't, and you hit them by mistake, it's not good. I literally see people playing an F chord, like that, and thinking they're like, is my guitar out of tune or something? No, your guitar's probably perfectly in tune, but you're playing 2 strings that don't belong in an F chord. Okay? You can do this no matter what you're doing when you're playing this chord right here. My finger is keeping the E string dead because I don't want that in there. I might want it in there if I'm playing an inversion. Well, then I'll press it down. But if I don't want to press it down, I want it dead. One thing I don't want to do is play it open. Right? Sounds pretty bad. Your finger can always look after the string. And when I say above, I mean physically above. Because strings, if we're talking which ones are above and below, this is actually the top string, and this is actually the bottom string. Because all we're talking about is pitch. Okay, so highest pitch, that's the top string. Lowest pitch, that's the bottom string. So when I say a string above it, I mean physically above it. Okay, we're literally talking here and here, physically above. no matter what chord you're playing, your bass note, now if it's on the E string and you're going to play all 6, then you don't have to worry about it. You can whack away at all 6. But if that's not the case, you're only going to play 5 or 4, whatever finger's playing your bass note, your lowest note of the chord, just nudges ever so gently. Let's see I wanted to play this one. Okay, can you see my ring finger there? Just nudges up. That's this finger right here. Just nudges. You see there's space there now? I'm going to put it right up against it. And then my thumb is going to take care of the E string. If I wanted to whack away at all 6, you still shouldn't whack away at all 6. You should never do that. Always aim for the ones you're trying to hit. Right? There's only 4 strings in the chord. Aim to play 4 strings. This is insurance. This is insurance. Okay? One of my students, his name was Jeff too. He was in a band and they had a lead guitar player, a rhythm guitar player, who would not do this. He whacked away at all 6. He's one of the people I'm talking about. And in guitar, there's what we call slash chords. So you might have a D over F sharp. Because we're putting this F sharp note, we're adding it to the D chord. Now we call it a D over F sharp because this F sharp is the lowest note in the chord. So it's called a slash chord. And you write it D slash F sharp. So he says, I'm getting tired of our guitarist playing D slash A slash E. Like, what's D slash A slash E? He's like, playing a D chord and strumming all 6. D slash A slash E. So what do you do for D? How do you keep the D string quiet? Or sorry, the A string and E string. Pretty much got to do it with the thumb in this case. Because we have an open string in the bass, okay? So you're not fretting the D string, it's open. So you don't have a finger to keep the string physically above it quiet. Your thumb got to do it. Now, if you did hit the A string, it's not the end of the world. You just get what's called the second inversion of D. It actually sounds pretty good. But if you want D in root position, that means that should be the bass of it. Shouldn't be anything but those 4 strings. And until you get good at strumming just the 4, D chord is one of the ones people have a lot of trouble with. They can't hit those 4, they're strumming all 6 all the way. And it sounds pretty bad. Pretty bad. So, practice that trick. I'm telling you, you'll sound so clean compared to almost everybody around. Because even a lot of professional guitar players don't bother with this. They don't... I don't know if they're thinking about people watching them and thinking they're cool or what they're thinking, but they're not hearing that open string that they're whacking away at that they shouldn't be. And even a lot of professional players, they just don't pay attention to it. So, there you go. That's Mr. Buzz's tip of the day. Tip of the year, actually. It's the best one I know. That one, I got a lot of mileage out of that, for sure. So, thanks for watching, and remember that Jesus Christ is the King of Kings.